Fascinating.
What would the greatest mind in history discover this time in the mystical lands of Kanto, where the laws of nature twist and creatures of wonder challenge every known principle of science?
Already weeks into his Kanto journey, Leonardo had charted coastlines and forest trails, but today, strange scorch marks near a meadow and a mist-covered cave stirred his instincts. Something unseen was leaving traces he knew demanded deeper study and observation. Leonardo trekked toward a grassy ridge where the earth was oddly scorched, the grass blackened in perfect arcs. Beside the trail, he discovered a horseshoe-shaped imprint, seared into stone, too precise for any known beast. Further north, he entered a misty cave, its walls damp and echoing with whispers. The lantern's flame dimmed near a stone altar etched with spirals. A purple haze lingered unnaturally, reacting to sound.
The air listens.
He murmured, sketching the altar. These clues, heat-formed stone and sentient mist, pointed to creatures of intense elemental nature. He pressed his palm to the stone and said only,
Fascinating.
Squirtle, Testudine's aqua. Leonardo's sketch reveals a small, blue, turtle-like creature with a domed shell of extraordinary hardness and a curled tail. But what truly intrigued him was the hydraulic propulsion system Squirtle used. Unlike any marine creature he knew, Squirtle expelled water from its mouth with focused pressure, achieving backward thrust with a surprising speed and precision. Leonardo dissected the physics on parchment. A flexible internal water chamber compressed by strong throat muscles, allowing propulsion and accuracy in battle or escape. He drew cross-sections of its skull and glands, noting muscle flow and pressure valves. He wrote,
Nature as here mastered pressure, motion, and grace contained in a smiling shell.
Vulpix, Vulpanis ignis. Vulpix captivated Leonardo with its 6 flowing tails, each one warm to the touch and softly glowing. But it was the thermal regulation through tail division that fascinated him most. He observed how Vulpix's body heat was distributed across the tails, using them like vents. Each tail could flare independently to control fire release, avoiding overheating and maintaining balance in flame use. He theorized a lattice of heat-sensitive nerve fibers branched into each tail, guided by a natural rhythm of ignition and cooling. He illustrated the vascular tail system, marking faint channels and flame ducts. He noted,
It is a furnace of elegance, fire that listens to the will.
Machop, Hominis fortis. Though small in size, Machop displayed muscular density unmatched by any creature Leonardo had encountered, even among seasoned soldiers. What drew his attention was not size, but efficiency. Machop's muscles were layered in tight spiral fibers, allowing strength beyond proportion. Leonardo wrote of interlocking muscle bands and reinforced joints, designed for repeated impact. He theorized that the creature's endurance was aided by a dual breathing pattern, one through the nose and a secondary release valve in the neck that helped oxygenate fast. He detailed the limb mechanics, showing levers and anchor points for force. He recorded,
Its strength is not brute, it is built with the wisdom of structure.
Ponyta, equus flammae. What held Leonardo breathless was not just the fire trailing from Ponyta's mane, it was the bioluminescent combustion without physical damage. As the creature galloped, flames danced freely, yet left no burns upon its skin. Leonardo hypothesized an insulating membrane, thin as silk, covering the skin, embedded with fire-retardant oils and tiny reflective scales that directed heat outward. He noted how the mane's base produced a gaseous substance, ignited by friction or adrenaline. The result, a creature cloaked in flame, unscorched. He drew a layered diagram of the membrane's texture and the hair-to-flame transition point. He wrote,
Here fire obeys the form, wild in motion but never unkind to its bearer.
Gastly, vaporis anima, Gastly was the most elusive. Its body lacked defined mass, floating as a cloud of gas with eyes and mouth suspended inside. But Leonardo focused on its gaseous intelligence. Within the swirling mist, particles moved with strange purpose. He noticed that sound caused subtle shifts in shape. Gastly seemed to hear with its entire body. Leonardo theorized a vapor-based nervous system where clusters of sentient particles communicated like a floating brain. Its ability to pass through matter without harm made him question solidity itself. He illustrated swirling neural flows and labeled zones of density. He noted,
To study it is to question form itself, mind without body, presence without weight.
Leonardo closed his journal, eyes wide with wonder. Which of these marvels fascinated you most? What will Leonardo discover on his next adventure? Where will he go? What incredible creatures await his curious mind? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
Fascinating.